Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of Civilization 5. We're playing as the Danish. We're playing as Vikings. This video series is a tribute game that I'm doing for a friend of mine who passed away. Last game we played together was Civilization 5. He wasn't able to finish as the Vikings, so we are going to finish Civilization 5 for him. We're going to conquer the world as the Vikings. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. So basically, we started out down here. In our first city, we took over all the barbarians that were here and killed them. We built a second city over here, Aarhus. Then we expanded over onto the next little island, which has a city-state of Wellington, and we founded another city here on the coast to get access to iron. We're starting to see more of the world over here. This island is probably where we're going to put a fourth city. There is Germany over here, which is a little too close for my liking, so eventually we are probably going to want to take them out. I have this boat here set to auto-explore. I'm going to take control of it. I have things I want to do specifically with that ship. So we'll let the next turn happen. At this point, what we're going to start doing is start building up our military. Right now our military is pretty weak, relatively speaking, but we can start building this up for the eventual war with Germany that we're going to have. I don't know exactly when the war with Germany will happen. It's probably going to be very soon after we get our berserkers. We're going to take a bunch of berserkers and siege engines and enough ships to make that journey safe for them over into here and start taking out some of these German cities. So now we have mathematics, so we can start building catapults, which will be siege engines that we'll use. So there are, as you can see, over here, there's a barbarian camp. This ship, like I said, is auto-exploring. They did exactly what I wanted them to do, but I would like to take control of them now. So now we have to build a pantheon. I wasn't sure we were going to get a religion, but it looks like we're going to. So at least we have a pantheon. So we got to figure out what it is that we are going to do with our pantheon. So it's a good idea when you pick a pantheon is to pick something that's going to generate faith for you. So the Earth Mother would do that for us, but there isn't actually that much iron for us. Desert Folklore is still available, which is really strong. I'm surprised it's still left. There's not that much desert. We do have some desert over here in... this is all desert terrain. I mean, it's all hills, and hills work the same for us regardless of what they are. So that's a possibility. We are going to... I think we are going to take Desert Folklore. It's very strong, and if possible, I want to keep it out of the hands of other people. So if for nothing else than the fact that it's going to generate faith for us, and is probably one of the stronger faith-generating ones, we will take that. Okay, so now you can see we're generating +3 faith. We don't actually have any religious buildings, but we're simply from the lore of the desert now. We're starting to develop our religion. So this guy's really hurt. He's going to pop back into this city and heal up. We got a worker that we freed from some barbarians, so we're going to send him down here, and he's going to start working on this iron. There's other units that we need to know what to do with. Again, this guy's really hurt, this unit, so he's just going to heal here. We're also building things here. This is a new city. We're building a monument, which is working on its way to being complete. Here in Copenhagen, we're building some ships to get our trade off the ground. It would be nice to have money going for us. But here we're also building a cargo ship. So what we want to do is have trade so that when it's time to upgrade our people to berserkers, we can afford to do that. So that is the goal of building these ships here, to trade with both the the city-state that's over here, and then also our neighbors. Germany is our closest neighbor, so we could trade with them. Eventually, yes, we do want to go to war with them, but we might want to trade with them first to get some money. There's a barbarian camp over here. Normally, I would probably not be that eager to fight barbarians on another continent. Germany's special ability is to take control of barbarian units. So if we can take barbarians out before they can, we'll be denying them troops, basically. So we probably, these guys, once they're healed up, which we're going to have them start doing now, we'll head over there and start taking out those barbarian camps. If nothing else, we'll be denying the Germans those source of troops. That's Germany's special ability, is they can round up barbarians onto their side. So, in general, if you can deny your enemies strength they have, that will help you against them. So this guy, I don't know what he's doing. He must be set to auto-explore. I don't want him to do that. I want him to go over here and make landfall. This will also reveal some more of this landmass where we're going to go to war. So we have a workboat. So I guess we're working on a workboat, not a trade ship. So we can go and we can start getting some of these, working some of these fish tiles, which will give us extra food. Workboats, sea tiles, you have to build a workboat for each one, so it can be really expensive. We have to build something in Copenhagen. So here we have barracks, granaries, libraries, and monuments. So we want to start increasing our military. That is going to be important for us. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to queue up some archers for each of my cities to be able to defend themselves. So we need 3 of those. Is there any other buildings that would be useful for us? A water mill would be very helpful to help us be able to produce things faster. So we'll take one of those. And I think I'm going to move the water mill up to here. So we'll build 1 archer to start having defenses for our homeland so that when our military goes off, we're not left completely defensive. And having a unit or 2 of ranged units will help us a lot. We are also going to want some catapults. So let's get 2 catapults. Alright. We want 2 catapults, not just 1. So we've got a lot of military stuff going on here in Copenhagen, which is going to get expensive to maintain those units, but it will help us greatly. They'll pay for themselves when we start conquering people. So this ship is still just exploring this area around here. I'm trying to get a sense for Germany. It looks like this is their home island. You've got Berlin over here. Up here is Hamburg. And then down here is Munich. Munich will probably be our first target. It's their weakest city. It'll give us a foothold onto their continent. And then from there we can just start taking over all of their cities. So as you can see, they've got troops that were spawned from over here, are attacking our military units. It's not great, because archers can hit us without us being able to attack them. But we're going to get into here, and we're going to start fighting them in hand-to-hand combat. Once you can close ranks with an archer, they go down pretty quickly. So we'll keep exploring with this naval unit. There's some islands over here. Maybe we could use these to explore a little more territory. But the main reason that I have this ship is to be able to, we're going to have to. We can't just sail straight up the coast. That area is owned by Germany, and we don't have the rights to sail into their water. So let's start going around this island. So we're going to use this island to kind of island hop our way around here. Kaepung, I don't know if I'm saying that right, probably not, just built its monument here, so we're starting to build the basics of our infrastructure over here. Again, I think that a granary will help us grow, barracks will help us with our troops, and we're going to need a library. Once we've got these foundations down, we can start having them producing more military units. This city is also probably going to be one of our science hubs because we have the Old Faithful within our area, which gives us extra science, which is pretty nice. So right now we're again okay. So
in eurem Interesse, dass ihr dieses Angebot sorgfältig prüft.
We have furs, extra furs that we just built. They want to trade us citrus for furs, which will help our happiness. I think that is a fine trade. Again, eventually Germany will be our enemy, but for right now we're building up a force to go attack them. And extra happiness, as we start attacking cities, will be very useful for us. So I had thought about building a city over here, and this is a pretty good spot for a city, but obviously Germany has citrus. So it may not be the best. If we're going to get citrus eventually from Germany anyway, it makes that other city site less valuable. Still having extra citrus to trade to other people can be useful, just like the Germans just did with us, trading their extra citrus, so probably still going to be okay to do. You actually, there's over down in here would not be a bad place for another city as well. You can see there's marble over here, which you could get eventually. There's sheep, which help you with food, and there's plenty of production here. Actually, if we could do it, building another city right over here would get us much closer to that German homeland and would give us a base to be able to operate from. So I think, as we reveal more of the map, our plans change, I think that this area will be a better place for a fourth city than that island over there. That island over there, it's a good spot. Maybe eventually we'll settle there, but the resources we would get are kind of redundant to what we're eventually going to get, and this will give us a foothold. So I think that's where we're going to go. So as you can see, this fight against the archers now is going to be much to our advantage. So we're gonna wipe these guys out. Once we do that, we probably are going to want to rest up a little bit before we head over to the actual encampment. So as you can see, like I said, we got the two sources of fur. This silk over here, we already produced a plantation here, so all of these luxury resources are ours now, which is helping us a lot. We're going to go over here to where these deer are and start working them as well. So this guy's fully healed up. I'm going to send him over to here to help out with these barbarians that we want to take out. So he can get on a boat and head over here. So now we want to see... Okay, so we're actually going out further into the sea. There's a German ship there. We don't need the biggest navy in the world. That's not how we want a big enough navy to be able to destroy any ships that are going to attack our berserkers while we're moving in. But the main way that we're going to take people over is going to be coming by sea, landing on their shores, and devastating everything we see. Very much like the Vikings did in history. So again, the archers are fighting back, but it's too little too late. We're going to destroy them. Our borders in our city grew, which is good. We have more land under our control now. So this guy is also done. I am going to put him also over into here. You also saw we got some culture there from defeating those barbarians. So he's going to come over here to join this party as well. So we're going to have 3 military units. They're going to be able to take on that barbarian camp. The archers that we're building over here are going to increase our homeland defense, and then we'll be able to start focusing on taking on Germany. The other good thing about if we build a city over here that will be nice is we can upgrade our military units within our terrain, so we don't have to send our warriors back to become berserkers. They can just do that while they're on this island. So I think that's going to be very strong for us. So we probably need to figure out who's going to actually build that settler. It's a good spot for a city. I don't want Germany to take it before I do. So we need to figure out who could build us a settler in time to do that. Probably the next city that is done with its build queue, we're going to have a settler there. Start working on that. Our capital would be a very good place to build the settler as well, because we get a bonus to that. Actually, that makes more sense. So what we're going to do, we're going to add a settler into this mix. So where's the settler? Right there. So I want the watermill first to help with overall production. Then it's going to be the settler. Then we're going to start kicking out more military units. So Copenhagen has a pretty long build queue set up of what we want them to do. This guy, I'm going to actually have him... So this hand axe. Hand axes are pretty nasty. I don't really want to fight a hand axe right now with just one military unit. So I'm going to go back. I'm trying to avoid that hand axe until I have at least 2 people with me. There's a new civilization over here. They're not new. These are the Swedes. So it looks like the Germans and the Swedes control or are on the same island. So probably what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get those people to fight each other as much as possible. And I believe they're at war with each other right now anyway. They tried to get us to join in their war, but we refused. So if we can keep them fighting each other, that will let us build up our strength so that we can go against Germany. We probably will want Sweden to join us in that war as well. I don't think Sweden is going to be powerful enough to take over Germany, but it'll give Germany 2 people to have to worry about. So again, rough terrain. This area is all surrounded by forests, so rough terrain will be very helpful for us. These guys are just going to go on alert. They're just here to basically defend these cities. We're starting to have some money problems. This trade ship that we're building over in Aarhus, which will be done in 2 turns, this cargo ship, will really help with that problem. So what I'm going to do, these trade ships are going to be really important to us to help us get additional money to fund all this military. So the watermill is still very helpful. It's expensive though, so we're probably going to skip it right off the bat. What we're going to do is that cargo ship, we can only have... Oh, we already have one, so we're working on a second cargo ship already. That's exactly what I wanted to do, so good job. We'll build that watermill after the cargo ship. Our money problem should start being solved pretty soon. So this trireme, again, we're exploring the coast here. I want to know as much as I can what we're going to be sailing into to fight. We can't reveal everything until we get actual troops, but just having an overview of the island. This is a really big island. There's stuff up here as well. I don't know what's to the north of Stockholm, but it looks like we'll be able to, after we conquer Germany and then take a little while to consolidate that and make it stable, we'll probably be able to head right into Sweden and just take that island completely over. So we have one trade vessel. We've got, let's see. So Copenhagen is trading with Munich already. When we get that second unit, we're probably going to want to trade with this city-state. I think that would make more sense. We'll trade with Germany as we have to, but as we trade with them, they also get money and science from the deal. So that probably will need to change eventually. Maybe we'll start trading with Sweden, which would make more sense if we're eventually going to go to war with Germany, that we wouldn't be attacking our trade partners. So when every 20 or 30 turns or so, you get the option of where to send your trade ships. So when we have the option, we're going to resend that trade ship somewhere. Because where it's going right now, while it's good for us, is not going to be good forever. So we're going to keep building these camps here. We already got the the iron here, which is very nice for us. We're going to keep... I want to go over to this floodplain. Floodplains produce a lot of food, and we need food to grow. We need a combination of food to grow and hammers to build stuff. So I don't think we're able to sail around. Yeah, Sweden owns this water over here, so this is probably as far north as our ship can go. So that said, we'll come around to the other side of this island. Oh, no, Germany controls this area of the sea as well. So let's get we'll let our trireme go back to exploring automatically. We took control of them to do the specific thing we wanted, and now they can roam the seas and uncover more land for us. There's also Morocco over here, but we found somebody else. So this is Boudica of the Celts. We don't really have anything to trade with the Celts. We can probably trade some embassies here. I want to know where their capital is. It helps them as well to know where our capital is, but I think it's a good trade-off. Knowing more about the world is important for us. So you can see all the way over here are where the Celts are. So they probably have sent a ship or something over here that we saw and talked to them. So as you can see, what we're doing in our cities right now is we're trying to build our trade so that we're financially stable. Our people are pretty poor, which gives us a lot of motivation to go out and attack other people. But militaries are expensive, so we want to be on somewhat of a stable footing so that we can afford the military force that we're putting together. This city is just building up the very basics of being a functioning city, so it's not ready to start contributing to the military yet. These guys can build a farm over here. This city... So right now, basically Copenhagen is going to be handling our expansion. It's going to be producing settlers and military units. This city is not really ready to contribute anything other than its own self right now. And here, Aarhus is going to be getting us on a trade footing that's going to work for us. And after that, then we'll decide what we're going to do with Aarhus. If they're going to start building military units, if they're going to start building stuff to make their city better, we'll see what they do. Our biggest problems right now that I see is money. As we keep building these units and things, it costs money to maintain. So we need to solve that problem. Germany wants to be friends with us. I don't think that's a good idea. Attacking your friends, as much as the world dislikes you going to war with anyone, they really dislike it when you betray your friends. So no, we are not going to be friends with Germany. It shouldn't affect their opinion of us too much. You can see when you mouse over what's affecting their opinions of each other. They're friendly to us. When we have embassies, we don't really have that much of a history of a relationship with them. As we start doing things, they'll become positive or negatives to our relationship. So this is developing along here. I think when we build this, we'll go 3 more turns. We'll build the ship, and then we'll start trading to solve our money problem. And then from there, we should be, if not making money, we should be on an even footing.
3 things are to be looked to in a building.
So construction lets us build.
That it be securely founded. That it be successfully executed.
I'll let you hear the quote. So let's just build a couple important things. Composite bowmen, which are good. We are not going to have that much of a ranged army here. But they are still, it is still a significant improvement to technology. You can build a Colosseum, but we have plenty of happiness, so we probably don't need to do that yet. I let you build a Wonder of the World, which is the Terracotta Army, which gives you copies of every military unit. That's not bad, but it's expensive. And then it also lets you build lumber mills, so you can take advantage of all those forests that we have. So our military is starting to land here to be able to attack. Now, the problem with this this barbarian camp here is it's well protected. It's shielded by a mountain here that makes it hard to maneuver around. So what I'm going to do with these guys is I'm going to send them across the ocean, this little bay here, to land here so that when we start putting our troops in place, we'll be able to attack them from both sides. This guy is going to... he can't go through there. I will move him... we'll just get in the water and get over here, and then we're going to have a military unit sitting here, and here, and here. And that will take out that barbarian camp in quick order. I believe all of our military units are upgraded as much as they can get from fighting barbarians. So actually there's this hand axe, and I said hand axes were pretty nasty and I didn't want to face them alone. Well, we don't have to now. Now we have 2 military units here, so this guy can move over here. This guy's not fully healed, but close enough. He'll start maneuvering into place, and we can take out this hand axe. Hand axes are one of the nastier barbarian units, and again, Germany, if Germany fights barbarians, they can convince them to join their military, and I don't want that to happen. So if I can kill barbarians before Germany can get to them and make them into Germans, that'll be good for us. It's one less unit that we have to fight. We got some gold when we met Cahokia. They gave us a gift of gold, which is going to slow the bleeding a little bit. So that's good. Again, my biggest concern right now is the money. We need money to be able to produce things. We've got, we've got a reserve here, but we're not in any immediate danger, but I don't want to have that be an issue. I'm going to attack this barbarian camp. I'm not going to be able to take it with just the one guy, but I also don't want it to keep spawning units with no opposition. So we got this this other cargo ship, and we are going to establish a trade route. So you can see we could move food back and forth. We can also trade with Germany, which I don't want to keep doing. So what I'm going to do, you can move your trade ships around. They can only go so far. We have another city here. So if we move the boat to this island, now we should be in the trade range of being able to trade with Wellington, which is what we want to do. So this hand axe, we're gonna fight them. You can see even with all these bonuses we have, we're still pretty evenly matched with them. That mainly they get to attack us once before we attack them, which is them throwing their hand axe at us before we actually get into melee combat. So they're pretty nasty, especially at this level of technology. You can see we're building up faith here. It's going to be 53 turns before we get a great prophet. Great prophets let us found a religion. If we can found a religion, I think it'll be worthwhile. I don't think it's really going to be worth putting that much into for us, because other people are going to have their own religions, and we're going to conquer everybody. So there's going to be lots of different religions we can pick and choose from, and we'll be able to build buildings and take advantage of all of the way that their stuff works. So again, we're going to keep fighting this barbarian camp. There's a Swedish scout over here. The worst thing that could probably happen is we would attack this barbarian camp and get it almost all the way destroyed, and then that Swedish scout would come in and take over the camp. That would not be good. So this worker here, he's built pretty much everything. He could build things. He could build lumber mills in the forest here, but that probably would not be that great of a use of our time. We want to get these special terrain squares first. So I'm going to go over here to start working on the fur, which will let us trade more. So now this is what I wanted to show you. We can establish a trade route, and now we can establish a trade route with Wellington, which we're going to do. So this ship now is going to sail between these two cities, and you can see it's making us a little bit of money now. So our big problem is solved. So this is where we will end it.